Hey, everybody. It's Darren. It's time for a Week 3 podcast, part of the Geek Cave podcast network of shows, and flying solo this month, mainly because, Chad and Justin are both busy. Justin's still on vacation. Chad's busy. I didn't want to bother Paul, and really, I just wanted to hang out with you for a few minutes and talk about Gamescom, which had their big opening night live. Yesterday, I'm recording this at 4 in the morning on August 20th in the U.S., so it's been about 12, 13 hours since Gamescom's opening night ceremonies in Germany, and wanted to talk about some of the big video game announcements that happened, and kind of a feel for the show, or at least for the gaming industry, because, man, it seems like we are all about horror. Like, a little too much spooky stuff. I know spooky season is coming up, but a lot of these games were announced for 2026, like early or mid-2026, and I don't know about you, but the real world is scary enough. I don't need to be scared again. Does that make sense? But there was a lot of horror games. There was a first-person Souls-like by the people behind Ghost Runner. It kind of looks like BioShock meets Bloodborne. It's also set in 19th century Europe. And, it was called Valor Mortis. And really, it just seems like everything is either a Souls-like or a horror game. But let's get into it in full. Now, I did cover a lot of this on our Threads channel, threads.com. Just look for Geek Cave Podcast. And, the big stories, well, there were a couple of, new announcements, but a lot of it was just like, hey, by the way, this is also coming. This is also coming. Sekiro, the Souls-like / horror-ish game is getting an anime. Lords of the Fallen is getting a sequel. Lords of the Fallen 2 was announced for 2026, and it looks like it'll launch exclusively on the Epic Game Store, at least for a while, on PC. Of course, consoles. Most of the announcements were for pretty much everything, like every console, but there were a few where the Nintendo Switch 2 did not get a version. During the pre-show, Bubsy 4D was announced. I don't know who keeps buying the Bubsy video games. I know my wife was a Bubsy fan growing up. I know that Adam over at Remember the Game likes Bubsy, but can we do everyone a favor and stop buying these, because they're just terrible games? But Bubsy 4D was announced. It is a cel-shaded game. It's a 3-dimensional platformer coming to everything, that later. They just said coming, so I don't know when. Another game we know is in development, but we don't know when it's coming, is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. And first they said it was a 4-player beat-em-up game, like a Streets of Rage-ish kind of game. Streets of Rage, Final Fight, that flavor of video game. But it only looked like they had 2 active characters at a time going. But, it's He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms. I don't think She-Ra is going to get any love once again. For whatever reason, the people behind the He-Man properties just like to pretend She-Ra doesn't exist. I don't know why. But, yeah, it looks fun. It's like a pixel art kind of beat 'em up, really retro-inspired. Limited run games will be releasing that to console and PC. One game that looked fun to me was Dench Attack. I've got the trailer at geekcavepodcast.com. Basically, think Jet Set Radio meets Tony Hawk meets trains. Like, why bother with kick flipping a skateboard when you can, do like a 960 on a train or something? It'll make sense when you see the trailer. But that was really when the show started to shift into almost entirely horror-based, with Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which I know Call of Duty is not a horror franchise, but the campaign is based around this gas that makes you hallucinate, and it's basically Scarecrow's fear toxin is what it is. And that seems to be the big kind of thing for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It's out this November, duh. It's also coming to PS4 and Xbox One, as well as PS5 and the Xbox series of consoles and PC, so that was interesting. I was hoping for some Xbox Ally news for the handheld, and I think that Microsoft was just going to do that on their own, so by the time you hear this episode, that might already have been announced. And, Liz is great at keeping our website up to date, geekcavepodcast.com. We saw a trailer for Fallout Season 2, which takes us to New Vegas. That looked a lot of fun. I still haven't seen the first season. Chad has, and he's reviewed it on the main show, the Geek Cave podcast, and he says it's a very, very good show. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I mean, there's a Death Claw in the trailer, so that sounds fun. Yes, Hollow Knight Silksong is real. We got 30 seconds of new gameplay, and then Geoff Keighley said, hey, it's coming this year, and that was it. That was all we got. So some people were pretty upset that there wasn't more, but Team Cherry wanted to do their own release date reveal and all that stuff, and that's happening either later today or tomorrow, and by later today, I mean I'm recording this on August 20th, again, around 4 in the morning, so it might be, by the time you hear this, it might be a little bit later. One game this was honestly my game of the show. Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight. Now, I heard that there was a Lego Batman game coming, and I think a lot of people, including myself, just kind of assumed, okay, they're remastering or remaking the original Lego Batman trilogy, and they're just going to put it on modern consoles and PC. Whatever. Kind of like the Skywalker Saga did. And then I watched the trailer, and coming next year, which that disappointed me a little bit because I kind of want to buy and play this game right now, but Telltale, TT Games, excuse me, not to be confused with Telltale, but it is going to essentially merge elements of the Batman Arkham trilogy or quadrilogy, because I think that Arkham Origins should be included, but that's just me. But they're going to be combining that and some of those gameplay mechanics with the storylines from not only the Michael Keaton 2 Batman movies that Michael Keaton was in, Batman and Batman Returns, but also the Dark Knight trilogy, which I thought was a really fun announcement. We get Lego Heath Ledger Joker. We get Lego Penguin, both accurate to Batman Returns and also to a scene from The Batman. We have Matt Berry impersonating Tom Hardy as Bane, complete with a joke about how, Bane was hurt when he stepped on a Lego. Lego Bane was hurt when I need this game in my life. I didn't know that I was still going to want to play a Lego game. But 2026, coming out to everything, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And I'm trying to think if there were any other big highlights for me, and not really. But again, that's because a lot of this, maybe I'm getting old, right? But a lot of, Ghost of Yotei, we saw another trailer for that. I'm excited for Ghost of Yotei, don't get me wrong. But let's see, Bloober is doing a game that's, looks like Silent Hill meets, what was it? It was a game about, it's called Chronos the New Dawn, excuse me. And stop me if you've heard this one. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic future featuring, horror elements. Yeah. But there is a cat in the trailer, and I was like, you better not kill the cat. And they saved the cat. So, okay, good. Chronos the New Dawn. Gravity-defying gameplay is the hook, but again, it's more horror stuff. Do you like Souls-like games? How about Dante's Inferno? Because there's a game called La Divina Commedia, which translates to the Divine Comedy. The whole Dante's Inferno thing. Jamma Games is making a Gothic title about that. Silent Hill F was a big reveal. And again, not for me, because I don't like to be scared a lot. But if you're not familiar with Silent Hill F, Japanese schoolgirl wakes up in a very haunted temple. And, the graphics are good. It looks like it could be a good game for people who like that kind of thing. Silent Hill F coming out September 25th. Let's see. Cinder City. That was, again, let me know if this sounds familiar. Post-apocalyptic. You're fighting zombies and body horror monsters. It's a third-person shooter. It takes place in like a futuristic South Korea. It does look interesting. I'm not sure if it'll hold me. There were a few other cute ones that did not involve creepy stuff, including Death by Scrolling. It's like a roguelike vertical scrolling RPG. So remember shmups, like where the screen is constantly moving, you have to like keep up with it. So it's that, but you're running from the Grim Reaper. And it's from the same people behind Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion. So that should be fun. Deadpool VR looked pretty fun, coming to MetaQuest 3 and 3S. There's new DLC on the way for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It's called The Order of Giants. And Indy has to solve a mystery involving an ancient crusader who is literally a giant. But other big news is that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is also coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Order of Giants, that DLC is out September 4th. Great Circle hitting Switch 2 sometime next year. We also got a fresh look at Ninja Gaiden 4 with a new protagonist alongside Ryu. That comes out October 21st, again on everything except Nintendo Switch 2, it seems. I'm trying to see, looking through my notes, if there's anything I missed. I'm sure there's something I missed. The Outer Worlds 2 is out October 29th. I am moderately excited. I liked the first one okay. Age of Empires 4 coming to PS5 November 4th. Cult of the Lamb getting a major expansion early next year. Let's see. Project Spectrum. That's a shooting game that features horror elements. Oh, yeah. They wrapped up the show with two things. Black Myth Jean Kui. It's a sequel to Black Myth Wukong. It is a Souls-like game. Yep. Taking place in... I don't remember, I think it's China. And then there's Resident Evil Requiem, which is a horror game taking place as the franchise returns to Raccoon City. And some mysterious folks came for the main character's mom years ago. We get like a little bit of a look at what happened there. And it's spooky. It's first-person survival horror. It comes out February 27th on everything except Nintendo Switch 2. So that's kind of like my quick 12-minute or so rundown for Gamescom, or at least the biggest items that came up on my notes. What about you? Was there something that was announced at Gamescom that you were really, really looking forward to that either was announced or wasn't announced? I know some people were hoping for Metroid Prime 4. Nintendo's going to announce that whenever they will announce it. Some people were hoping for more on Silksong. And one fun-looking game, it's a fantasy beat-em-up called Absalom. I almost missed this. Coming out October 9th on everything except Xbox. And it's a beat-em-up / roguelike. It's like a fusion of Golden Axe with Dungeons and Dragons. You play a frog. So what's not to love about that? But hey, let us know if there's anything that was or wasn't announced at Gamescom that, really is at the top of your list. Just leave a comment wherever you find this episode. And hey, next week we've got another episode of You Want Me to Watch What? Chad and Liz continue to watch and review movies that the other hasn't seen. And I can tell you that Extra Life 2025 is confirmed October 31st and November 1st. We're doing the 2-day event once again. It'll be split up on our Twitch channels. We have a number of Twitch channels, and we'll have more details to come, but you can donate now to help Children's Miracle Network hospitals at geekcavepodcast.com. I'm Darren. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for these last few minutes, and I'll see you next time. Hey, don't forget, everyone is a geek for something.